Okay, so let's see the practical application we are going to develop now.
So now let's say hi and let's click send. Now you can see it says hi and you got this up button, right? So you got it because you configured in the manifesto.xml as that this activity has a parent activity called main activity. So when you click this, it will go back to that parent activity, which is the main.
Okay, so let's continue to develop this application now.
Hi all. So welcome to the lesson. Start another activity, part 3 in Android. This is part 3, so you have to make sure to look at part 2 before this lesson. We'll be using Android Studio version 4.0.1 for practicals and Android developer docs and APIs for referencing. You need to have some Java knowledge, plus you need to look at the previous lesson, which is start another activity part 2 before this. We'll be doing API discussions in this lesson. Practical demonstrations as usual. Let's dig into the lesson now. So let's look what we have done in the previous lesson. So in the previous lesson, we have done up to this point where we can type a message and send it to another activity, right? We have a up navigation button where we can come back, right? So this is what we have done up to the previous lesson. Now what we are going to do in this lesson is to get more detailed understanding about the code written, right? Okay, to start with, now we understand that these are standard classes in Android. Intent is a standard class, Android class. So we are creating object of it. That we can understand. Then find view by ID is a standard method, built-in method in Android, right? We understand. Get text to string, but put extra. All we understand. Start activity. So these are all standard methods. But let's see what are these methods. Where do they come from, right? Because it's very important for you to have that understanding if you want to become a excellent mobile application developer, right? So we'll start this by looking, okay, a few things. Okay, intent. So what is intent, right? So we have to do a Google search for Android API and look for intent. If you do a Google search for Android intent, then you will be taken to the Android API. And when you look into the intent, you will see that there are multiple constructors available. You can see that okay, it's coming from the package android.content, and you can see in the right hand side it talks about summary of constants, etc. So I'm scrolling down until I go to the section constructors, right? So then you can see public constructors. If I click on this, you can see that there are multiple constructors. You call it as constructors are overloaded. So there are lots of overloaded constructors, right? So this is without parameters, this is with one parameter, right? So if I scroll down, this is what we are using. This first parameter is context, second parameter is the class. So that's what we have been using here, right? See, context, and then the second parameter is the class, right? So if then it talks about these parameters, it says context, a context of the application package implementing this class. Then the class, it says the component class that is to be used for the intent. So that's why it's passing the second activities class here, right? Because it's expecting the second parameter to be a type of class. So that is why it says display activity dot class. Then the first parameter, it expects it to be a content, right? Context, right? So the question is, it's expecting it to be a context, right? So the question is, how can we pass this? Now all of you know in Java, this stands for, this is a keyword and it stands for the current object. So this means you are passing the current object. So then current object is of the current class, definitely, right? So that means you are passing object of the current class, which is main activity. So when you say this, you are passing an object of the current class, the runtime at which is available at runtime, which is, so this means it's the current main activity object at runtime, and that main activity is a child of app compact activity. So then if you look at app compact activity in the API, let's go to the Google and search for Android app compact activity now. So if you do a Google search and go for app compact activity, you will see this is the inheritance hierarchy of app compact activity. You will see that app compact activity is a child of context. Look at the inheritance hierarchy. So which means app compact activity is a child of context. That is why you are able to pass it as the first parameter to the intent. Let's go and look at the intent constructor once again, but keep also keeping in mind app compact activity is a child of context. Keep that in mind and let's go into that. So because app compact activity is a child of context, so now you can see for the intent you can pass a context, which means you can pass a app compact activity, because as you saw app compact activity is a child of context. That is why you can pass it to the intent. Now that is why you can say this here, because this is an object of the current class main activity at runtime. Then the main activity is a child of app compact activity. So in other words, when you say this, you are passing a object of app compact activity which is a child of context. So app compact activity is a child of context. So which means when you say this, you are passing a context, and the intent constructor first parameter is expecting a context, the current context of the current running activity is what you have to pass. So that is how you put it together. So I know it's little bit difficult for you to understand at once, but when you follow this series you will be getting more and more, awareness of what we are talking, right? But keep in mind, whenever you create an intent you will be mostly passing the keyword this, right? That's what you will be doing. That's how you create an intent. So then let's look, what is this find view by id? So find view by id is a method. So where does this method comes from? Is it from intent? No. Why? Because I'm not calling it on the object intent. I'm just calling it. If I'm just calling a method without putting object, it means this method should be in the current class. But in the current class, there's no method called findViewById. Then where does it comes from? Then it should come from the parent class, which means findViewById will be coming from the parent class appCompact activity. So let's go to the API and look at appCompact activity to see where this method findViewById is, right? Let's go now. So in the API, in the app compact activity, there should be that method find view by ID, right? Sometimes it's not directly in app compact activity. Why? That is because that can come from one of its parent classes in this inheritance hierarchy, right? So that is Java inheritance, right? So if you dig into this, you will see that find view by ID is a method of activity class. So if I go to the activity class, you will see, just do a Google search, then you will see, go to the activity class, then you can see there's a method called find view by ID, right? So if you go into that activity class and if you scroll to the public methods down like this, like I'm doing, and then you will see there's a method called find view by ID. So the find view by ID will return a view, right? So when you read this, you will figure out that find view by ID returns a view, and as you know, all the labels, text boxes, buttons are views, right? So that is why to get access to the edit text, in other words, to get access to this text box which is edit text, you have to call find view by ID, right? And you cast it to edit text, because edit text, as I said earlier, if you look here in the layout, in the main activity, which is this text box, and if you look at the code, you will see it's a object of edit text, right? So that is why you will be casting that into a edit text, right? And on the edit text you are calling the method get text and then toString. So why just not get text? Why do you have to say toString? That you can find by looking at the API. Let's go into the API, edit text, and look at the get text method now, right? So what I have to do is in Google I have to search for Android edit text, and then inside that class I have to look at get text. Let's do it now. So if you Google, you will get edit text. So in edit text you are looking for the method get text, right? So if you look at the edit text, you can see there's a public method called get text. So if I click on get text, look here at the mouse right hand side, when I click on get text, see, it's not returning a string, it's returning something called editable. That is why I can't just call get text and put it into a string, because it's not, when you say get text, as you see now, it's not returning a string, right? It's returning something called editable. So what is editable? So you have to right click and say open it in a new tab. Then you will see on editable, there's a method called, okay, from this editable you have to get that string. So let's see how to get. So from this editable you are looking for a method called toString, but you don't see it. But nothing to worry. Why? There's inheritance hierarchy. Editable implements char sequence. So if I open char sequence as its parent interface, on the char sequence there's a method called toString. So that is where this toString method comes from. So when you call toString, what does it gives? If you click here, it returns the string. So that is why you have to call toString to get that string. Awesome. Let's look at the next thing. Intent.putExtra. So this putExtra method is a method of intent. So now you have to look at Android API intent class for the putExtra method. So if you go to the API and if you look for the intent class, if you Google search, you have to Google search as Android intent class, right? So you have to search and then you will be getting into that class. That is how you get into the API, and then you have to look for the putExtra method. If you want to get extra information, look for the putExtra method. So in the intent class, I have to scroll in the right hand side, right, and look for the methods. Look at my mouse. So I have to scroll and look for the method. So I'm scrolling to the public methods, right, to look if there's a where is this method putExtra comes from. So if you scroll down to the public methods, you can see there are the putExtra method is overloaded. Look at the mouse, right? So using the putExtra method to the intent, if I click on one of these, right, it's overloaded, right? So the putExtra method is the mechanism where you can insert data to the intent so that the second activity or the next activity can get that data back from this intent. So because when you put into the intent, the next activity can get it from the intent. So how you put into the intent is using the method putExtra. So it's key value pair. So this first parameter is a key and second parameter is the value. So putExtra is overloaded where you can put a long array as the value or byte as the value or a double array as a value. So it's overloaded, a characteristic. Always the first one is the key, right? So 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 now the putExtra method is overloaded and you can put a different data types, you can put a value of a different data type because it's overloaded. So when you put the string, there's a method to accept a string as a second parameter. So if you look at this, if you read this API, the putExtra method, you will see that there is one of the overloaded methods where you can accept an object, right, a string, right? That's what you give here. Awesome. And then immediately let's go to that next activity and see, because once you get the intent, there's a method called get string extra on the intent. So there should be a method called get string extra. That is how you get that, right? So let's look at that. So in this public methods, there should be a method called get string extra, right? So I'm looking for that method get string extra, right? So see, get, see, lots of methods to get the data, right? So over here, as you can see, the method at the bottom, get string extra, right? This one. So the method get string extra is what is called, then you can give the key of what you have put it into the intent, which gives you the string, right? So that is why you are passing the key and then it returns a, clearly as you saw in the API, it returns a string. So now you know that every method, right, see it says look at this, right, get string extra and see putExtra, right? So every method used here in the developer docs, right, and what we are using is from the API, right? What is this API? This is like the dictionary of Android. So if you need to know anything about a parameter, if you need to know anything about a class, if you need to know anything about a constructor, this is where you have to look. So like I showed you, now you have to Google search for the API, go to the relevant class, look at what you want. It can be a constructor, it can be a method, and look at, if it's not in the class as I showed you, you had to look at the inheritance hierarchy and see if it's coming from a parent, and that way you can put everything into one context, right? It's so the API is like a dictionary, and API stands for, as we have told you earlier, is application programmer interface, right? So now you understand why this, how these methods are getting connected, right? So now once again, if I take you to one or two things, right? So put extra. Then finally, let's look at start activity. Once again, now where do you think this start activity method is? Is it inside intent, or is it a method of intent, or is it a method of edit text, or is it a method of string? It's not a method of intent. Why? Because if so, I have to say intent dot start activity. Is it a method of this edit text? No, because if so, I have to say edit text dot start activity. If I just say start activity, the theories in Java or Android, it's a method in the current class. So, but there's no method declared in the current class called start activity. What does that mean? That means it's coming from the parent class app compact activity. So which means start activity is a method of the parent class app compact activity, right? Very important for you to understand that. So then I'm now again going to the API and looking for the app compact activity, and then I'm looking whether there's a method called start activity, right? So now I'm in app compact activity. So then I'm going to the public methods to see whether there's a method called start activity. So I will scroll and see whether there's a method called start activity. So if I search for the inside the app compact activity, the public methods, there's no method called start activity. Then it should be coming from one of the parent classes in this inheritance hierarchy. So if you click one by one, you will see it's a method in the activity. So if I open the activity, you will see in the activity class there is a method called start activity. So this is the activity class, and if you come and scroll up and down, you get this my mouse, you can see as a public method there's a method called start activity. So when I click on this, there's a method start activity where you can pass a parameter of type intent. Now that is why for the start activity you are passing a intent, which is a object of intent. So when you say start activity and pass intent, now you know, because I can't pass a number, because if I pass a number I'm getting error. That means I can't pass an integer. But instead of the parameter, I can't pass the integer as a parameter, but I can pass intent as a parameter. Why? Because in the API the start activity accepts a intent. So now you understand why it's accepting an intent, right? And if I try to put it as a string, right, inside double quotes, let's say I try to put it as a string, it's not working, it's giving error, right? So it's red color underlining means it's an error. Remember, if you see something underlined in red color, that is an error. So why am I getting this error? Because in start activity it's overloaded, right? You get two of them, but none of them accepts a string. This one has two parameters, intent bundle. Second one has one. So it's either, it should be an intent. So that's why I can't pass a string. But if I pass an intent of type intent, it works. So that is why it's very important when you see a code, it's very important for you to go to the API and look into technical details. So that is what, if you want to be an excellent mobile application developer, so this is the secret. I'm viewers, right? So I'm telling to the viewers, it's this is the secret, viewers, right? So you need to be mastering the API, right? So it's not just looking at the developer docs. You have to look at the developer docs. That is the starting point, right? You have to look at the developer docs as we did earlier, right? And you have to look into this get stuff. But to complete the bigger picture, to complete the in-depth understanding, you definitely have to go and check the API for extra information, such as what I'm showing you now, right? So the best example is, if you were confused, why do you pass intent to the start activity? Now the confusion is cleared, because now you see, now you know, it is because of the API is expecting an intent object as a parameter for the start activity method, right? So that is why for the start activity method you are passing the intent, right? So this is a very important lesson for your future if you want to become an excellent mobile application developer. So this lecture series will make you an excellent mobile application developer, and if you look at this lecture series till the end of this lecture series, you will be able to develop your own apps connecting to the database, and certain threads running in the background, connecting to Firebase, having pop-up menus, tabbed bars, and a complete and comprehensive app. connecting to payment gateways, doing online payments, all sorts of things, security, encryption. So it's a very rich series for you to continuously look into towards the end, and and the remaining series after this, right? So this was a great lesson for you to understand that every time you look at um, developer docs, you have to make sure that you will be also looking at the API, right? Awesome, right? Let's see what's next. Okay, so you, based on the practical discussions, demonstrations done, and then the API discussions, you got a clear understanding of how the API is important, and how to clear the doubts or the confusions you got in the code using the API, and how to traverse the API, right? Reference was Android developer docs and API as most important part of this, right? So what's next? So this lecture completes this small app, right? But then you have to improve this app and add more and more features, and make it a comprehensive mobile app. For that, have a look at our other videos for practicals on Android A to Z, and look at videos especially on Firebase, and tabbed bar and menus and stuff like that, fragments, etc., right? So we are very excited to see you on another video, and see you on another video.